Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle. But you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, the 5 steps to becoming an action-oriented individual. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Take action first.
The first thing most people do after they make a decision is they plan, they strategize, they tinker, they think, and it's the worst thing you can do. Here's why. You make a bold decision. You say, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to go off and do this crazy, amazing thing. And then you go home and you think of all the ways that it can happen, and you start planning and strategizing. It's amazing. You feel great. And then you wake up tomorrow and you're a different person. You wake up tomorrow a different person, and that person says, you can't do that. You can't follow through on that. Who are you to take on that big idea? And then nothing happens. Nothing happens. And so the solution after you get an immediate idea is action. Don't worry about planning. Even imperfect action, just action. Because you need to build it into your nervous system that you're the kind of person who follows through. Because you need to make some commitment so that by the time you wake up tomorrow, you've committed to following through. That's the biggest problem. I call it the 2% difference. So what most people will do is they'll plan to 100%. You get an idea, you got to plan. You got to go home. You got to plan. You got to plan all the way to the end. And it's amazing. And you think about it, it's such a great place to live in as entrepreneurs, as perfectionists, as over-planners. We love living in that world. Don't worry about planning to 100%. Instead, find the 2% difference. What can you do right now to get 2% of the way? If you don't get 2% of the way immediately through action, you will never get to 100% of the way.
Rule number 2, think big, act small.
The secret to getting everything that you want out of life is to think big and act small. Think big. Have a huge dream. Create a vision for yourself that excites you, that you want to make happen. And then act small. Don't let the big dream be so big that it becomes so scary and you never start. Find the smallest possible way to just get started. Think big, act small. Otherwise, your dreams will stay exactly that. I recently had a guy pop into my Instagram live who was a fitness coach, and he's building his success up and doing one-on-one training, fitness, and helping people get results. And he said, Evan, how do I go bigger? How do I build my brand? How do I get people to know me outside of just my pocket, my community? Well, you have to create content. You got to be a thought leader. You got to be an expert. I got to see you doing what you're doing. How often are you making videos? I said, well, I don't know, making them once a week. Okay, great. Dude, how often do you go to the gym? How often do you work out? How often do you care about your nutrition? I said, well, every day. Like, you have to take the same approach to your business, to making content, to being a thought leader. I said, are you in shape? And at the time he's shirtless, and then he said, yeah, I'm in shape. And he pans down and you see his abs, and then back to his face. He's got this smile on his face. It's like, I love it, man. You've put that into your daily routine. You're working out and eating right as part of your daily routine. He said, yeah, but it's so hard to go off and make videos every day. What are your clients saying to you about working out and eating properly? That it's so hard? Dude, it's the same excuses. You've already figured this out in one area of your life. The problem is you're not being consistent in the other areas. That if you want to blow up and be a thought leader and get a lot of traction, attention, and views, you need to get good at the thing. You don't become great at anything doing it once a week. If you believe that you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, Michael Jordan wasn't practicing basketball once a week. You just will never get great at it. You have all of this untapped potential, all of this ability to go off and make a huge impact, but we never see it because you're doing it once a week. You just will never get good at it. You'll never get good enough at the thing if you're only doing it once a week. So he says, what do I do? Great, you put it into your routine. You already know how to do this. You just have done it for something else. All of you've already been consistent on something. Now make this next business goal part of your daily routine.
Rule number 3, have a big why and a small why.
Think about your big why and little why. I'm a big believer that you have a big mission, a big vision, a big thing that you're trying to accomplish, and it's inspiring. Why do you do the work that you do? Because you're trying to make the world a better place. That's what we as entrepreneurs want to do. That mission is inspiring. It's amazing. It gets you up out of bed. But sometimes it's too big. Sometimes you think, well, who am I to go off and do that? Sometimes you think, well, other people should do that who have more money and more funding and more skills and more knowledge and more resources. I can't. Who am I? I can't do that. And so on some days, the big why is actually too big. When you're trying to motivate yourself to get going and take action, the big why might be the greatest thing of all time, but sometimes it's too big. That's where you need the little why. Big why and the little why. When the big why seems too big, you use the little why. What's the little why? The little why is the small daily little comments that you get, the little pieces of feedback that you get. For me, the little why is people who read my book. I'm trying to find a copy. People who read my book and then they message me. For people who leave comments on my YouTube channel, like you guys who comment down below, we read them. For people who DM me on Instagram. That's the little why. It's knowing that the work that I do has an impact. Because a one-off comment doesn't mean a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I know that I hit one person. However many views this video gets, the people who comment are way less than the number of views, right? That's always the case. And sometimes the views don't make sense. I mean, the idea that I get a couple 100,000 views a day on my YouTube channel doesn't make sense. What does that even mean? I don't know. But seeing somebody comment to say, this video had a big impact on my life, thanks to this video, I'm taking action in my business today, like that's deep and meaningful. That's the little why. So find the little why version in your business. You may not think that you're capable of accomplishing some big thing every day, but knowing that you help one person can give you the motivation to get up and do it again tomorrow and again tomorrow and again tomorrow. Big why, little why.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, check out my 254 series where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you an unlisted video. The science says it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. So I'm going to be with you every step of the way. If you want to be on for free, 100% free, there's a link below. Go check it out. I'll see you there. Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong.
It's got to be your life's work. If you only had to write one book ever in your life, this is it, and it's got to be amazing.
Rule number 4, expect to suck.
Expect to suck at the start. This is what really holds people back. You start something, you expect to be great at it, it doesn't work out, and then you quit. Why do you expect to be great at it? It's the first time you're doing it. From my buddy who called into the Instagram live show, who's shredded with his abs and is gonna make a video, his first video is gonna suck. Right? If it doesn't suck, he should have started years ago. His first video is going to suck. That's the best. And as kids, we know this. As kids, we try new things and we fail at everything. We get up, ha ha ha, laugh it off and keep going. But as adults, we try something new and then we fail and then we stop and we never do it again. Then you will never learn anything new, right? You're gonna be stuck inside your box the rest of your life. Expect to suck at the beginning. It's okay, it's normal. It doesn't mean you suck as a human. It just means you don't have the skill set yet. How do you get the skill set? You practice, you get better, you learn, you study, you put in the reps. And so whatever it is that you're trying to take on, yes, you've got this big goal, big ambitions, big dreams. I think you can get there, amazing. The first start is right now, today, what are you gonna do? And in that starting, expect nothing to happen. Expect just to suck everywhere. You're gonna make your first video, it's gonna be brutal. You're gonna write the first page of your book, you're gonna be embarrassed by it. You should be embarrassed by it, it's okay, it's great. The quality is gonna suck, the results will suck. But what you wanna tie your self-worth to is the effort, that you did it, that you got started. And if you do that every day, be proud of your effort every day, I guarantee you're gonna get results.
Rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, push through the pain.
The minute that you start living your life and start running your business based off of what other people expect you to do or think of you is the minute that you lose. Think about the people who you are listening to. 95% of people wake up and drive to a job that they hate every single morning. They believe life is just the way it is and there's no opportunity for growth and it's always somebody else's fault and they're stuck. Most people feel stuck. These people who you are so concerned about their opinion of you, are they living the life that you want? No. And so why do you care so much about what they think? Why do you limit yourself based on the opinions of people who are not chasing their dream, who are not doing the thing that they want to do? If someone is giving you advice, if someone is telling you their ideas on something, if they have not done what it is that you want to do, then their advice is meaningless to you. And you need to stop caring about their opinion. It's holding you back and forever will until you can break free of it. And let me tell you, it's not easy to break free. You may intellectually know it. You know here, right? You know in your heart that I don't want to think this anymore. It's not just that easy to snap through. It's not easy to ignore the decades of social conditioning that have been put on you because we are trained to care about what other people think about us. We are trained to play small. We are trained not to stand out. We are trained not to go off and conquer our dreams. We are trained to be in the system. And so it's not easy, but the way through is every single time. This is one of the most important exercises that I've ever done and continue to do in my life and in my business that have catapulted me forward countless times, because every major breakthrough that I make in my company comes from me making a major breakthrough with myself, comes from me breaking through a limiting personal belief. And so the exercise that I do is every time that I can catch myself worried about doing something based off of somebody else's opinion of me, then I force myself to do that thing, even if it's scary, even if I don't know how to do it, even if I might fall on my face, even if I might, fail in front of that person and be judged. If I can catch it, that's the key, because most of the time you don't catch it. Most of the time you play small by default. You play small automatically. But when you can catch it, and it may happen in the moment or it may happen a day later, but if you can catch it just before you're about to take that small action, then you need to push through that fear. You need to push through the pain and go ahead and do it. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and you get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of following through. That's not enough. But when you write down what time, what place, and how you're going to actually take action on it, you jump to 91% chance of following through. And when you have public accountability and you commit to other people that you're going to do it, it jumps to 95% that you will follow through. So I want that for you, Believe Nation. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
You've got big goals, big dreams, big ambitions. Anything that's big, that's worth doing, will come with a healthy dose of fear. Because it's scary, it's unknown, it's uncertain. Now is the time to teach yourself that when you're afraid, you do. You jump in, you don't run away, not anymore. So I used to have a strategy that I borrowed from Jeff Bezos, which was the regret minimization framework. It's what he called it. Basically, try to live life with as few regrets as possible. To try to imagine yourself being 95 years old, at the end of your life, looking back and saying, like, this moment right here, if I don't do this thing right here, right now, I'm going to regret it my entire life. And the idea of that is to create a pain that's bigger than the pain that you're facing right now, because you're afraid of something. The thing that you want to do, you're afraid of. And so you create a bigger fear, which is decades of regret, and let that weigh on you. And that bigger fear then forces you to take action against a smaller fear. You're basically picking the lesser of two evils. I haven't done that in the past couple of years, because instead I've focused on, if I'm afraid of it, that means I have to do it, just because I want to build the muscle for myself. I think this is one of the greatest things you can do as a human being for your self-worth, for your self-confidence, for your self-respect, is to teach yourself that you do scary things. That the fact that you're afraid, as long as it's not putting your health at risk, right? We're not jumping from an airplane with no parachute. As long as it's not against your values, you're not going to go steal something from a store, right? Most of the things that you're afraid of are not actually putting your health at risk or somebody's health at risk or against your core values. You're afraid of failing. You're afraid of looking bad in front of somebody else. You're afraid of saying you're going to do something and then it not working out. That's what we're afraid of. Other people's opinions, typically. That is not a good enough reason anymore. And so if you hear yourself saying, this is what I do for myself. Whenever I hear myself saying, well, that's difficult, that's scary, that's hard, that is now no longer an acceptable reason. Because you do scary, you love hard. Everything you want is in the other side of your fears. What do you want? You want to live a life where you're just never afraid? What is that? That's not an overly confident person. That just means you're living life totally inside your comfort zone. You are just waking up every day and photocopying and repeating the same day over and over and over and over and over again. Think about it. If you're never afraid of anything, you have zero fear in your life, you hate your life because you're just repeating it every single day. And so to be afraid of something and then not do it and play small is almost worse, because you know you're capable of more. You want to be out there. You want to be playing with those people out there. You know you can be there, and yet you don't do it. You've got your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. So I want to stomp that out today in this video. You do scary things. Fear is no longer an acceptable reason for not taking action.
If you want to watch the simple advice will help you take action on your ideas, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I'll see you there.
Most people never manifest their ideas because you don't trust your ideas. That bold idea that came to you, that made sense to you in the moment, the next day,